Welcome back. I'm Ben.
And I'm Carrie Nikolai, and we are agents with Coldwell Banker Siewert Realtors in Wisconsin Rapids.
Exactly. Today is February 12th.
Let's check the phone really quick, because yes, today is the 12th.
The 12th of February. Perfect.
Yep.
So,
in 2 days, we've got a very exciting opportunity coming up.
what do we have?
We
Tell me
have
more.
new Photoshop. We're going to do new photos.
We are. We're going to do some new headshots. You've got a hair and fluff appointment, so she's going to...
We're going to wash out the gray.
Silver.
Okay.
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
So we're going to do some photography
You bet.
on Friday afternoon.
I prepped the studio with the nice dark matte black background.
I was going to say, we should talk about your painting job, because this is a really nice addition to the basement to have the nice black backdrop for our podcast.
It's very artsy.
It is very artsy.
It's my thing. One of the things that we tell homeowners a lot is that, if you don't like the way the house looks, it's amazing what a little bit of paint can do.
Yes, and we have discovered that ourselves with our bathroom remodel that we're doing. So we did have up some nice wallpaper, which we took down, and then we painted it a nice, I call it army green, because it is a nice soft forest green. But then we started to pull off the wall tile and expose more of the wall, so we had to keep adding more paint and to make it ours. So we're doing that remodel and adding that extra green. It really has helped out.
Well, the thing is that the green isn't like rough and tumble army green. It's a forest green. It's a sage green. It's like you're walking through an enchanted rainforest.
Right. I believe the actual color is everything oregano.
Tasty.
Yes.
And then I was watching some YouTube videos, as I do, to get inspiration sometimes. Some of my photography people that I follow are crazy about doing an accent wall in their studio area. And matte black is good because for photography it absorbs a lot of light, and so you don't get weird reflections and whatnot.
Okay.
So I think we try it.
Yeah. It looks great.
Good. Yeah.
And it took you a little bit extra long because I had painted a high gloss on the white wall that was supposed to be a sunshine yellow, which didn't look like anything, so it was just slightly sparkly.
Well, we did a two-phase. Our basement had wood paneling on the walls. Very, very retro, very 70s, is quite popular and easy to do. So that's what they did. Except it was finished in that really golden oaky caramel sort of wood finish stain and whatnot. And we painted it. And that was a huge transformation because it took a really dark, blah, old-looking basement to now we've got vertical striped white walls. And then you did a feather duster with
Sunshine yellow.
Sunshine yellow, right? So the white was a matte finish and the sunshine yellow was a high gloss, so it gave little speckles of color and it was very pretty.
So yeah, doing a quick little color in a room just to add a little bit more of a personal touch always goes a long way, even as you're looking at possibly looking at the resale value, because we've been in the home for 11 years or so, something like that.
Just about a decade.
Yep. So, we're looking at, okay, well, if we may be moving to a different home, how can we remodel the house? How can we make this sellable while we're trying to still live in it, where it still has our touches to it, but we're also thinking for that next family down the road.
And then how can you do it cost effectively? So really, paint is one of the easiest ways to do it. The gallon of black flat paint that I got, we went to Menards over there in the Plover. You got the Menards, save big money. It was like $20.
Yeah.
It's not the highest quality of paint. Usually, if you can expect a good high quality paint to be in about the $50 range nowadays, $45, $50. So look for sales.
Yeah.
I know they run springtime specials a lot, or just general
And some of
Menards.
our local paint stores actually will keep a color palette for you for the house. So I know that there are 2 stores here in Rapids. I can think of one, but not the other one.
There's the Tom's Paint.
Yep, and I believe the Sherwin-Williams. Yep,
Right.
they keep track of that home's color. So the person who buys my house and they really like the colors I picked out, they can go over to Tom's Paint and they can give the address and they can actually get what we put in each room. So if they wanted to continue with that, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. But it's super nice where 5 years down the road I want to go back and repaint the living room, spruce it up a little bit, but I can't remember the paint. They can look it up for me and have everything all ready for me.
We found out painting the exterior of our house last summer, which was convenient because we had the extreme power outage in the end of July. So
Yeah,
what else were we going to do?
Exactly.
Stay home and paint. We found out that the color we had painted the house 8 years ago, they could still do the color, but the base paint chemistry was different.
Right.
And so it wouldn't exactly match sheen and exact tones for the color that they mixed with it. So you went just a whole different color.
I did. It was kind of a pick whatever you want, honey. I will paint the house whatever color you want. And so I just took a couple samples outside in the sunlight and just kind of did yep, I like this one. We're going to go with this one. And came home, totally surprised you. And so we kind of now have the chocolate house because it's a nice deep brown.
It is. It's actually kind of nice. I think it blends in a little bit more. I'm a fan of dark colors in the first place, as I'm sitting here wearing red and blue instead of my usual black. So, got to stand out from the new black wall here in the podcast studio.
Exactly.
No, it's a good color. That was good paint. That was expensive and it was exterior grade, and we did a full process on the house. So we scraped off the loose chunks. If we wanted to get a super smooth finish, probably sanding would have been the next step.
Yeah, we could have filled it and sanded in, but
It was a little bit much for what we wanted to do.
right, we just needed to get a new coat on because it was getting to the point where we needed to either do it this year and save the wood behind it, or we would have had to completely take off and put it on whole new siding.
Right, so we went with just scraping it and getting paint on there. I think the new one is a paint primer mix.
Yes.
So we didn't have to primer as much as going over new, fresh, bare wood. So there's a couple of tricks. Primering before you paint helps your expensive paint go longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps seals the wood surface if you're doing wood or concrete, because we've got some concrete block wall also that needs to be painted.
It sounds like we have a lot of painting projects that we need to take care of.
And it's always in progress. We're always doing something. And really, paint is the easiest thing to do, like we've been saying.
And I think the best and worst thing that is out there is going to be Pinterest.
Oh,
So, you got that 10 minutes before you have to go to the next one. I'm always on my phone on Pinterest looking at how to redo, the laundry room. So I come up with new ideas and it's like, oh, well, we can do this. Or then I look at bathrooms and like, oh, well, we can go do this. And so that project list just keeps getting longer and longer. And there's just so many ideas out there.
And then I'm on the interwebs looking at this old house, and Kevin and Maro, and they're just painting everything and splashing new ideas. Like, ooh, we could do that. And all these little projects don't take too long.
No.
Really. I mean, you got weekend projects here and there, bite off a little bit and move the furniture back and move to another wall the next weekend.
Right, and it was really nice. About a month ago, Tyler, our oldest, went in our laundry room and took off all the old shelving that was there and put up just plywood just to kind of cover that back wall that was exposed, and he was able to get that all painted and making it look really nice. It made a huge difference in our laundry room, which then now is kind of trickling over into what else can we do in there just to make it a little bit more, not really user friendly because it's still user friendly, but just more eye appealing.
Right. Bright and inviting environments really help living in houses, and certainly selling houses as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're walking into a home and it just feels dark or it doesn't feel right, consider a little bit of paint. I'm also a fan of changing out light fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
So getting brighter fixtures in
We have very 1970s light fixtures in our basement here.
Yeah, those are going to get swapped out to LED pods.
I was going to say, I know we've talked about doing maybe some track lighting, some of the new cooler. We can make the track the way that we want to. We can make it into an S, or we can make it into whatever. Not the normal standard where it's just a rod that we have it upstairs in our kitchen.
In our kitchen. Right.
And I know that our viewers can't see what our kitchen lighting looks like, but it's the curly stuff. Oh. I call it the curly stuff.
No, it's a dual track, and it's pliable, it's bendable, and you've got standoffs every few feet. It comes in a kit.
Mm-hmm.
We bought the kit. I think it was an 8-foot section of track and 5 light heads.
Yeah, and that was just
slide them and move them, and
I think that might have been like our easiest project. I think that was all said and done within like two hours, and it made a huge difference. Yeah, we got more lighting in the kitchen where we only had just a single one. So, I mean, it really turned out really neat.
And that wasn't terribly expensive either. I think that was $80 for the fixture or something like that.
Yeah, it was like under $100.
Again, it was over at the Menards, and we
really seem to like our money. Menards. Yeah. Well,
you know, it helped. I used to work in Plover, and I would just swing by on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
And pick up a thing here, a thing there. So budgeting, take out a paycheck. If you can take out $100 a month, then you've got a monthly project. That'll get you 2 gallons of paint, or a gallon of paint and a bunch of brushes and rollers.
And this time of the year is perfect for those small home improvement projects because we have the time. We are not let's go outside and play in the snow family. We're more of a, if it's below like 45, we're going to stay in the house and, stay warm. But, we have those small projects that we can slowly work on over time, so that way we can get some of the things checked off the box and then make that list a little bit smaller.
Right. Now, if you're confused on just how to go about the painting deal, there are ad nauseum on the internet of tutorials on how to do this and how to do that for your specific topic. And then go to the home center or go to the paint store, especially because the paint guys in the paint store,
they're the experts on this. They're going to be able to help you walk through it.
Yeah.
And I know Home Depot does, classes every once in a while of how to do the painting or how to do the tile, that sort of thing. So those are always good resources too if you're in the position of not being able to go to those stores. Because even just watching a couple videos online on YouTube gives you a little bit better understanding.
And then it starts going to what's the worst that can happen. You paint your kitchen cupboards, your cabinets and doors. What's the worst that can happen? It looks horrible, you don't like the color, so you can either strip off the paint down to wood or whatever the substrate is, or you can repaint it a different color.
You're right.
Which you've already practiced the first time, and if it didn't turn out so good, now you've got more practice.
Yeah, especially with the kitchen, with cleaning it really well, getting that degreaser in on there first just to pull off that extra grease that's on the kitchen. That way when you do paint it, it sticks a little bit better. I know that even with the kitchen walls, just pulling off, once a year, doing like a spring cleaning of pulling off that grease, all the smoke.
Just get out the 409 and,
mm-hmm.
The whatever your favorite degreaser is.
Yeah.
Hosing it down, wiping it off. And so if you're really looking for that specific paint for your project, say you've got something and, go to the professionals and say, hey, this is what I have. I've got a kitchen from the 70s, maybe pull off a door and bring a door with them so you can see the surface. And it's like, okay, well, you'll need this primer. You might need to scuff it up, and this is the suggested sort of grit of sandpaper, or maybe they've got some fancy blocks or tools with it.
Yeah, and we had to do that with one of our storm windows because our house is old, and when we went through and we painted, they were a dark, kind of like a dark navy. It wasn't really black, but it was just an odd color. And so the color that we chose to paint for the windows, it dried like a really weird color.
And,
it was.
It bled through.
Well, not only that, it turned out like a yellow. I mean, it just wasn't an odd color. So we brought in the window so that way they can take a look at it and they explain, best how to prevent this. And they were able to change the color palette just a little bit more to make up for that dark navy that was already on the base, which then made the windows turn out a whole lot better once they understood what we were starting with.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to paint.
Yeah, don't be afraid to paint.
It's kind of fun.
It is.
And I think the wall here in the studio took me 3, maybe 4 hours. And I did 2 coats. And that was a lot of brush work because our paneling has got ridges in it.
Yeah, and sometimes with the paneling, it absorbs that paint just a little bit, a lot. It doesn't, so you need a couple coats to get it so that way it stays. But it looks great.
So don't be afraid to paint.
Mm-hmm.
So
So we are going to be doing an open house this weekend.
Oh, tell them about the open
Oh
house.
yeah, so we're doing an open house this weekend. It's going to be over on East G Street, and we're going to be there from 10 until noon over there. And the house is listed at $79,900, so just under that $80,000 mark. It's a cute little 2-bedroom home. It's got a little sun porch off of the garage, and it's on a really large city lot, so it's over 1/4 acre. So again, it's going to be a really cute home, and we're going to be there from 10 until noon. Or at least I am. I got you over at a home inspection.
Yes, one or the other.
Yeah, we're splitting and conquering tomorrow. Or Saturday.
You'll see one of us.
Yes.
That's the fascinating part of having your assistant be licensed as well.
It is.
That's why we did it.
We did.
Yeah, so open house.
Open house.
And then what do you have on Sunday?
Oh, and Sunday we got the bridal show, which is going to be really fun. So we're going to be over at the Hotel Mead and Conference Center. I'm going to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You don't need to come that early, but I believe it starts at 11. So from 11 until 3, the public's invited to come take a look at all of the new latest bridal things. I don't know.
You're planning your wedding?
You're planning a wedding. You need a new pair of shoes. We probably have someone there for that.
Dresses, tuxedos, cakes, venues, vendors, rings.
Rings, everything.
So, my goodness, we're talking about weddings, but why would a realtor be at a wedding show?
Well, yeah, very good question. That's probably why you asked it. So the best thing that, our answer is like in our situation. I had my house when we got married, and you had your house when you got married. And so we were with 2 properties. And we kind of we had to make that list of pros and cons of which house do we actually move to. And then what do we do with the other one? We toyed a little bit with having it renting.
Rental, yeah.
So we were going to go into that route, and then we realized renting was not what we wanted to do. And so we opted to sell. And of course, then if you're needing to sell, you need a real estate agent. So just being able to be there for the brides and grooms and talking to them about, their possibility of maybe selling both homes, and we purchase the dream home together. Mm-hmm. Or we keep one and we sell the other one. So we'll be there to kind of help answer those questions, or even to help start those discussions of what do we do? Because if you're renting and I'm renting, well, do we, where do we live?
Maybe not rent and buy a house.
Right. Yeah. So, I'm going to be there with Chris Inda as well from our office. So the 2 of us will be there to talk to brides, grooms. We'll even talk to the parents, grandparents that you bring along. So your entourage. Maybe your entourage has a couple of questions that they may have. We'll be there to answer them. So again, that's going to be this Sunday from 11 to 3 over at the Hotel Mead and Conference Center.
Perfect. Well, that's about it.
It is.
Cool. Find us on all forms of social media as usual.
Yep, we got the myrapids.com, which takes you right to the website. Mm-hmm. So from there, it links you. I'm hoping to all the... It'll link you to the email. You can send me a text message from there.
Yep.
It links you to everything.
Yep. It drops right into our online presence, and so you can see all of the listings available, the Rapids info, biographies on us, and fill out a contact form, and we'll get some more information to you.
Yep. So, want to make sure that we can get a hold of you. Mm-hmm. Well, that's perfect. Well, thank you for watching, and thanks for listening. And hope you guys have a great Central Wisconsin day. Bye-bye.